Images and visuals can be as important as words when you want to communicate ideas. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to use generative AI tools to create visuals. So far, we've asked Gen AI tools to produce responses in what's called a text-based modality. Modalities are the different formats in which Gen AI tools receive or produce information, whether that's text, images, video, audio, or code. Different Gen AI tools are better at working in certain modalities. Be sure to check the Gen AI tool you're using to find out which modalities it's capable of using or producing. Let's start with image generation. Some Gen AI tools can create images, a sunrise, a bouquet of flowers, or even a crab riding a dolphin. But those same tools can also make images for a business or a professional presentation. Maybe you're a musician playing a gig in New Orleans and you want to promote your concert. So you use a Gen AI tool to help you create a poster to advertise the show. Let's prompt Gemini to create both text and images so we can discuss the subtle differences between prompting for each modality. We'll start with the text first. Remember to keep the thoughtfully create really excellent inputs framework in mind. Text-based prompts work best when we specify our task and add some clear context. So we could prompt, generate headlines for a poster promoting a rock concert in New Orleans. And to add a little more context about the task, we could write, the concert is one night only, and the headlines should encourage the audience not to miss out. By specifying our task and adding context, we're guiding the Gen AI tool to the text-based output we want. And just like that, Gemini came up with a few catchy headlines for the poster. And this is a good one right here. NOLA, this is it, unforgettable rock, one night only. It's catchy and it gets to the point. Now, in order to prompt the Gen AI tool for an image, we'll need to tweak our language. We'll still use the prompting framework, but we'll need to provide more vivid descriptions that help the Gen AI tool determine the type of image it needs to create. Now, this means specifying the size, color, and position of things in the image and the overall aesthetic we want. So first, we'll specify our task and format. Generate an image of an electric guitar for a poster. It should be a photographic style. And how about some vivid descriptions? The guitar should be glittery or sparkly and create a sense of excitement. The guitar should be in the foreground and give a sense that it's floating in the sky. Great! Gemini created 4 different images that you can use on your poster. So how can we make these images even better? Let's break down how to iterate and refine a prompt for images. We're still going to use the prompting framework, but with a few little tweaks. For the concert poster, maybe you liked the appearance of the guitar, but you want to make it even more exciting by adding a storm with lightning striking the guitar. We could refine it by writing, now make the sky stormy with lightning hitting the guitar. There we go. You could keep this image or keep evaluating and iterating again and again, adding relevant details from each new output until you get one that works. Okay, we just used text to create an image, but we can also use an image as part of our prompt to create a different type of output. Let me introduce you to multimodal prompting. The essence of multimodal prompting is using different types of media to prompt a generative AI tool, like inputting image and text or audio and text. This can be especially useful in the workplace. You can take a picture of a chart and ask a Gen AI tool to explain the data in plain language. You could upload different logo options for your company's rebrand as a set of references, and then prompt the Gen AI tool to give you more choices based on each direction. Or you could capture audio of another language and ask for a transcription in the language you understand. Here's an example where we'll prompt with both image and text to receive a text-based output from Gemini. Let's imagine you're an entrepreneur who needs help creating social media captions for a new design of nail art you're selling. You can take a picture of your nail art and ask for help writing a caption. Here's a photo of the nail art, and we'll input this into Gemini and prompt, write a social media post featuring this image. The post should be fun, short, and focus on the fact it's a collection of new designs I'm selling. Note that in addition to including a reference photo of the nail art, we still used the other elements of our prompting framework. We specified our task, added some context, and included the format. Besides the image itself, we didn't provide other references. But if we have a specific tone or voice we want the Gen AI tool to match, we could always input a few captions from previous posts to reference. This is great. Gemini analyzed the image and created a fun caption you can use to market the nail art. Notice how it uses emojis to break up the text and how it engages followers by asking a question about their favorite design. The cool thing about multimodal prompting is that it reflects the way you experience the world. You don't just discuss the words or images in a work presentation, you build connections between them to get a fuller understanding of the topic in question. A mix of text, images, and other modalities can open up new ways of solving problems or saving time. You could use a Gen AI tool to turn a picture of a city map into a list of notable landmarks, find key insights within an audio file, or quickly extract a list of room names from an office floor plan. Here's another example. You go to a conference and receive a schedule of events, and you want your team to focus on a few of the events in particular. I want to send a reminder to my colleagues about certain events from a conference schedule. Extract the times of the keynote speaker and 2 panel discussions from this schedule into a table. Again, we specified our task, provided helpful context, and included the format before inputting the picture of the schedule. Let's check it out. Great! The table makes it really easy to see where your team needs to go and when. You can even take it a step further and prompt Gemini to draft an email about these events. We'll get into prompting for email drafts later in the course. Just remember to keep the prompting framework in mind no matter what modality you are prompting in to achieve the best results. How might you leverage different modalities in your prompts to help you at work?